Chapter 911. Zhuangke sighed and said hesitantly, I'm in an internet cafe downtown. Internet cafe? Ningxi was a little surprised. How could Zhuangke go to an internet cafe? I'm going to find my brother. Zhuangke paused and then explained. After what happened last time, father set a curfew for him and forbade him to go out after 9 o'clock in the evening. However, he ran out again when I was not paying attention. If I don't take him back quickly, father will be furious when he finds out when he comes back tonight. Sister, you're so noisy. Can you stay away from me? Zhuang Rongguang's impatient complaint came from the other end of the phone. Rongguang, father is likely to come back tonight. Father, can you stop using dad to threaten me? I'm just playing a game, not committing murder or arson. Can't I have a little freedom? The problem is, it's almost the final exam and you're still playing. Also, how much money have you spent on this game, and you're still dating someone online? Go away. You're so annoying. It's not over yet. Zhuang Rongguang's tone was extremely nasty. He seemed to have forgotten who had been protecting him when he was almost shot by his father. Hearing Zhuang Rongguang's nasty tone, Ningxi frowned and her face suddenly darkened. However, when talking to Zhuangke, her tone was still very gentle. Can you help me see what game your brother is playing and what his game ID is, and then tell me secretly? Zhuangke subconsciously took a look at what Ningxi said, and then walked away and told Ningxi. The game is called Holy Realm, and his ID is Glory of Light. He seems to be getting married in the game tonight, and he won't go home no matter how I persuade him. Okay, I got it. Find a place to sit for a while, and I'll find a way to make him go home with you. Zhuangke didn't ask what Ningxi was going to do, but subconsciously trusted her. After hanging up the phone, Ningxi turned on her laptop and clicked on the icon of a game called Holy Realm on the desktop. This was the game that Ningxi and Jiang Mai endorsed, and it was also the game that Ningxi had played for the longest time. Ah, young man, there was a path to heaven, but you didn't take it. Instead, you barged into the doorless hell. He was already an adult, yet he actually let a girl run out to look for him in the middle of the night, and even spoke rudely. If I don't kill you until you delete the game tonight, I'm not Feng Ling. With an expression as if his woman was being bullied, Ningxi eagerly logged into the game account. As soon as Ningxi logged in, a system notification popped up in the game. The number 1 player on the PK leaderboard, Lord Feng Ling, has arrived. Ningxi and Jiang Mai used other accounts to promote the game and broadcast the game. This was Ningxi's real account. As soon as the bright red system notification popped up, the world immediately went into an uproar. World, wow, it's so lively tonight. More than half of the gurus on the ranking boards are here. Even Lord Feng Ling, who hasn't been online for a long time, has appeared. World. After all, this is a marriage between the leader of the number 1 sect, Glory of Light, and the leader of the number 2 sect, From Water. It's not surprising that Lord Feng Ling would be invited. World. But it's strange to accept the invitation. Lord Feng Ling has always been a loner. He doesn't join any sect, and he doesn't make friends with any sects. World, ow. I saw Lord Feng Ling. He's on his way to the Moon Temple. It seems like he's really going to attend the wedding. Chapter 912. World Soaring Wind. Seeking the coordinates of the Glory of Light. Ningxi typed on the keyboard and sent a message in the world channel. As soon as this message came out, all the chat boxes in the world were spammed. World, ow. His Excellency had actually appeared in this world. A group photo of the powerhouses in the front row. Your Excellency, I want to bear your children. World, upstairs, do you want to die? Feng Ling has a wife. World, so what? Can't I be your concubine? World, haha, don't you know what kind of person Feng Ling's wife is? She even dares to touch Luo Hua's husband? World, what wife? It's not like Sir married her. Yes, Ningxi's game account was a male account. Because his combat power ranked first in the entire server, and he dominated the PK list for many years, he was recognized as the most desirable man among all female players. The wife they were talking about was Jiang Mai. Jiang Mai had been tricked by Ningxi into playing a female character, and his ID was Luo Hua. Because the two of them often appeared together, and Jiang Mai was Ningxi's only friend in the game, The outside world had always regarded them as a couple. After someone sent Zhuang Rongguang's coordinates to Ningxi, Ningxi immediately rushed to the destination. At that moment, a friend in the game sent a voice invitation. Ningxi glanced at the pop-up box and casually pressed the answer button. Then Jiang Mai's voice came from the computer immediately. Holy shit! You're finally online. Why did you go to the Moon Elder Temple for no reason? Hurry up and PK. Shut up, I have business to attend to. What business can you have at the Moon Elder Temple? On the other end of the earpiece, Ningxi chuckled darkly and then replied faintly, I'm going to kidnap the bride. What? Jiang Mai almost choked on his own saliva. What did you just say? He hadn't been online for 800 years, and the moment he came online he actually wanted to snatch a woman? What the fuck? Wasn't he being cuckolded? After all, everyone in the game thought he and Ningxi were a couple. Thinking that Zhuangku was still waiting in the internet cafe at night, Ningxi didn't have time to talk to Jiang Mai. She summoned her flying mount and flew to the Moon Temple, catching up with Zhuang Rongguang's escort team. The game was quite realistic. The wedding scene was filled with a sea of flowers. It was very beautiful. A male player with the ID Glory of Light rode a tall horse at the front of the long procession. Behind him was the bride in a large palanquin. The people on both sides of the procession were all top players in the game. They were either sect masters or famous players on the rankings. Halfway through the journey, a loud dragon roar came from the sky. It was the only dragon-type flying mount in the server, Yazi. Hearing the dragon's roar, all the players knew that it was the number one player in the server, Fengling. At this moment, Zhuang Rongguang, who was sitting in front of the computer in the internet cafe, stared at the man descending from the sky with glowing eyes, his face full of pride. Damn it, I'm awesome. Even Fengling came to support their marriage. Zhuang Rongguang's two friends also exclaimed, fuck. This was Yazi. This is the first time I've seen it with my own eyes. It's so cool. I heard that you have to win 100 matches in a row to exchange for it. Fengling is the only one in the entire server who has achieved this. But why did he suddenly come here today? What's so strange about it? I'm now the sect master of the number one sect in the entire server. Just as Zhuang Rongguang finished speaking, his friend on the computer next to him suddenly stared at the screen and exclaimed in shock. Fuck. Glory. Run. What's the matter? Why are you shouting? Zhuang Rongguang looked at the screen in dissatisfaction. Then he was completely dumbfounded. The entire screen was blood red. Fengling had actually activated massacre mode on him. Chapter 913. The so-called slaughter mode was different from PK, which required the other party's acceptance and consent. After activating slaughter mode, even if the other party didn't want to fight you, you could directly kill them. Of course, there was a punishment for killing someone. After activating slaughter mode, the player's name would become red, just like a monster, and anyone could kill them. The players were shocked that Fengling would attend Glory of Light's wedding banquet. Some even guessed that Fengling was going to join a gang. In the next second, everyone saw him get off his mount and activate slaughter mode without warning. In the next moment, the man in PK godly equipment was completely covered in blood. The massive scythe in his hand slashed through the air, and a crescent-shaped beam of red light landed on Glory of Light's body. Immediately, half of Glory of Light's HP disappeared. Before anyone could react, Fengling unleashed a few big moves in succession. After a few moves, Glory of Light fell to the ground dead. The world channel, which had been spamming rapidly just now, was now as quiet as a chicken. In the internet cafe, Zhuang Rongguang slammed his fist on the table furiously. Fuck. This bastard actually dared to kill me. The red-haired man next to him was dumbfounded. What just happened? Why are you in a daze? Revive me. Zhuang Rongguang said angrily. Oh, in the game the doctor player used revive and Zhuang Rongguang immediately revived. However, in the next second, another red light flashed, and Zhuang Rongguang died again because he didn't revive with full HP. This time, he was killed in one move. Zhuang Rongguang. The two brothers next to him. The people in the game world and the guests attending the wedding banquet. Everyone was dumbfounded again. The first time could be considered a misunderstanding, But he wouldn't make the same mistake again. Feng Ling was obviously going to kill Glory of Light. On the other side of the computer, Jiang Mai, who was still connected to the voice chat, was having a headache. Fuck. Brother. What are you trying to do? How did this guy offend you? Ningxi. He bullied my guy. Jiang Mai. Logically speaking, Ningxi didn't have any friends in the game. Who did Glory of Light bully? As soon as he finished speaking, Ningxi killed Glory of Light for the third time. At this moment, someone finally spoke in the channel. World Glory of Light. Feng Ling. What do you mean? Ningxi's response was to stab the sword into the ground and sit down cross-legged, blocking the way of the wedding banquet. She didn't say a word, but her meaning was clear. They were trying to stir up trouble. World fuck. World, realm, glory of light. Glory of glory of glory. World is God. Is Feng. T God. Damn. God. Feng. God. God, I didn't expect to see so much gossip at a wedding. King. World glory of light. Feng Ling, I have no enmity with you. Since you came looking for trouble, don't blame me for not showing mercy. Now that Feng Ling had activated massacre mode, everyone could go up and kill him. No matter how good he was at fighting, he couldn't compete with Glory of Light's #1 guild. At this moment, everyone's screen suddenly turned golden. A bird's cry came from the computer system, and a huge shadow covered the sky. A golden phoenix descended from the sky, and a fairy-like woman walked down from the phoenix. The ID above the woman's head was Luo Hua. Chapter 9:14. World Luo Hua. My Luo Hua goddess is here. Goddess, please take a picture with me. World ha 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 ha. Feng Ling's wife is here. There's going to be a good show. World Glory of Light doesn't even need to do anything. Luo Hua will probably kill that scumbag herself. Luo Hua was ranked second on the PK leaderboard, and the only female player in the top 10. She had won 88 matches in a row and her mount was a golden phoenix. She was known as the PK Crazy Demon. Although her PK score wasn't as high as Feng Ling's, she had won the most matches in the whole server. At the same time, Luo Hua was also the #1 PK player in the whole server. Although her gang wasn't ranked high, everyone in her gang was rich. Even the #1 gang didn't dare to offend her. Otherwise, she could use money to poach all the people in her gang. That was how capricious she was. Zhuang Rongguang's pocket money was limited and had been restricted recently. Naturally, he couldn't compete with these rich players. World Glory of Light. Leader Luo. Your man is so fickle that he came to steal my woman. Are you going to do something about this? Zhuang Rongguang was worried that Luo Hua would protect Feng Ling and decisively tried to sow discord. World Luo Hua. Does my man need to steal your woman? One sentence and it was an instant kill. World from water. Luo Hua, don't go too far. Your man? Brother Feng Ling has never admitted his relationship with you. Don't flatter yourself. Fuck. Jiang Mai cursed in his earpiece. The next second, a line of words popped up on the screen. System player Luo Hua has started killing from water. The whole world was dumbfounded again. What a godlike development. It was too melodramatic. 2 men fighting for a woman became 2 women fighting for a man. It had nothing to do with Glory of Light anymore. His new wife was fighting for a man with another woman. As a leader, he was really cheated on. A goddess from water actually liked Feng Ling too? The players weren't surprised. In the game, the strong ruled. Which female player didn't like Feng Ling? Moreover, it was a man like this who came to steal their woman. Their hearts were racing. While the game was in an uproar, Ningxi and Jiang Mai were quarreling outside. Fuck, Jiang Mai, what are you doing? You're going to fucking make me a cuckold, and you're not allowing me to defend myself. Where my ass, can't you tell them you're a man? This way, all the misunderstandings will be resolved. How am I supposed to survive in the game if people know that I'm a ladyboy? You're a man, but you can't kill a woman. I'm a woman now too. If you cause any more trouble for me, don't count on me to accompany you next time. After finally persuading Jiang Mai, Ningxi immediately sent a message in the World channel. World Feng Ling. Personal grudges. Please do not interfere. Otherwise, you will bear the consequences. Then Fengling actually issued a challenge. World Fengling, glory of light, let's fight. I'll take off my godly equipment and give you 3 moves. The loser will delete his account. Instantly, the world boiled over again. Should I delete my account? Playing so big? While everyone was spamming the world channel, they were also excitedly waiting for Glory of Light's response. If Glory of Light still refused to accept the challenge, it would be too shameful. He was simply not a man. Glory, what should we do? Should we fight? That guy even took off his godly equipment. He's too arrogant. Of course. Glory, go. What are you waiting for? Chapter 9:15. Zhuang Rongguang's face darkened as he gritted his teeth. His combat strength was actually not low. Just now he was killed by Fengling because he was caught off guard and did not activate his skills. Now not only did Fengling give him 3 moves, he even took off his godly equipment. Hence, Zhuang Rongguang raised his sword and slashed. As expected, Fengling did not retaliate. After 3 slashes, Fengling was left with 10% of his health. Brat, how dare you be so arrogant? Delete the game. Zhuang Rongguang continued slashing. However, in the next second, Fengling suddenly disappeared. At the same time, Zhuang Rongguang lost a quarter of his health. Fuck. Shifting shadows. It's fine, Glory, continue. His skill is on cooldown. This move can only be used once, and without his godly equipment, the damage is halved. Kill him quickly. 1 slash is enough. However, Fengling continued to kite with a sliver of health left. His cool maneuvers were dazzling. In the end, he easily killed Glory of Light, who had a full level of godly equipment and an orange weapon. The world channel was flooded with messages. Frowny face world. Worship the great god. World, worship the great god. World, worship the great god. World Fengling, delete the game. Otherwise, I'll kill you every time I see you. World great god. What's the grudge between you two? World, that's right. How did sect leader Guang offend you? Not only did he steal the bride, he even killed him to the point of deleting his account. World Fengling, I don't like him. World. In the internet cafe, Zhuang Rongguang looked at the foreword sent by Fengling and kicked over the chair behind him. Hey Glory, where are you going? Not playing anymore? You spent so much money on this account. Don't tell me you really don't want it anymore? Get lost. Don't bother me. Don't look for me to play games anymore. He was tortured to death in front of the entire server for a woman, and he lost in PK. How could he have the face to play? At the same time, Ningxi's cell phone rang. It was Zhuangke. Ningxi interrupted Jiang Mai, who was complaining to him in the headset about how From Water was provoking him in a private chat, and answered the phone. Hello, Ku. Hearing Ningxi's sudden and gentle voice, Jiang Mai, who was on the other side of the computer, immediately fell silent and pricked up his ears. Hey Xiaoxi, Rongguang has gone home. That's good. You should also hurry back. Next time, don't come out alone so late. It's not safe. Yes, I know. But, what did you do? I think I heard Rongguang say that he won't play games anymore. I didn't expect him to say that he won't play anymore. Oh, it's nothing. I also have an account in this game, and it just so happens that I know your brother. I just used my account to talk to him privately. As a friend, I told him to study hard and stop wasting his studies playing games. If I talked to him as a player and a friend, he might be more willing to listen. I see. Xiaoxi, thank you so much. Ningxi's headset was still on. On the other side, Jiang Mai was completely speechless as he listened to Ningxi's blatant lies. After Ningxi hung up the phone, Jiang Mai immediately snorted. Which girl did you hook up with this time? What do you mean hook up with? It's my new best friend. Her brother plays games all day and doesn't go home. I just helped him a little. He'd made such a big fuss. He'd kidnapped the bride and forced her to delete her account, all for the sake of coaxing a girl. He'd even fought with that brainless woman called From Water in the game because of jealousy, but in the end, he was busy with another woman? Jiang Mai felt like he had suffered a critical hit. Chapter 9:16. By the way, how did you feel when you started filming today? Jiang Mai asked casually. Ningxi curled her lips. It went well. There was a troublemaker, but he's been taken care of. Thorn. Don't tell me it's Shen Hanchen? Jiang Mai muttered. You know him too? Ningxi was a little surprised. Wind Media is always saying that they want to train the next Jiang Mai. How can I not know? Jiang Mai snorted and then asked. Did you practice with him today? Oh. How was it? He NG'd more than a dozen times. So soft-hearted. Jiang Mai was immediately unhappy. Why was she so cruel when she tortured him? It's because he's too weak. It's boring to torture him. He's far worse than you. Ningxi replied. Jiang Mai was speechless. What she said should he thank her for her compliment. But he does have great potential. If you don't work harder, the new generation will surpass the old one. Ningxi said quietly. Humph. You're worrying too much. He wants to push me? Let him try. Jiang Mai said in a tone as if he didn't take her seriously at all. Ningxi shook her head with a smile. However, although Jiang Mai was arrogant, he did have the capital to be arrogant. His innate arrogance couldn't be learned by ordinary people. If Shen Hanchen blindly followed Jiang Mai's path and didn't dig out his own characteristics, he would always be Jiang Mai's shadow even if he became famous. By the way, when will your scene be tomorrow? Jiang Mai asked. I don't have any scenes in the morning. It'll be in the afternoon. What do you want to do? As a senior in the same company as you, of course I'll visit you on set and support you. Visit my ass. It's obvious that he's up to no good. The next morning, Ningxi's scene was in the afternoon, so she went to the studio in the morning. If she could make it in time, she had to find a way to meet the person in charge of SF. Previously, he had tried contacting her several times, but to no avail. After arranging an appointment, he went on a business trip. Now that he was back on a business trip, he was busy with all sorts of things and had no time. Ningxi planned to find a way to find out about the other party's schedule, and then directly go to find him. After preparing for so long, she had to let the other party see whether it was dead or alive. After rushing to the studio, Ningxi immediately called Han Momo over. Momo, is there any result about the thing I asked you to inquire about the day before yesterday? Yes, Director Wang's schedule this morning is at the golf course in the western suburbs. Okay, I got it. Ningxi turned on the computer and revised the proposal again. Upon seeing this, Gong Shangzi frowned. He put down the design manuscript in his hands and walked over. Boss, why don't I go this time? Don't you have to film in the afternoon? I have to rush to Western Zhejiang now. And from Western Zhejiang to the set, it's too tiring. It's okay. You don't have to worry about that. Just focus on your design. Ningxi patted him on the shoulder and prepared to leave. Just as he picked up his bag and was about to take a step, a calm voice came from the office next door. You're just wasting your energy. The person who spoke was Qiao Weilan. Hearing this, Han Momo immediately looked unhappy. They were all working hard for the studio, and they didn't ask for any help. Why did she have to pour cold water on them? Chapter 9:17. Ningxi's eyes flickered. She put down her bag, pulled out a chair, and sat opposite Qiao Weilan. Goddess, what can I do for you? As soon as Qiao Weilan raised her eyes, she saw Ningxi sitting opposite her, and was immediately dazzled by her eyes full of curiosity. Under normal circumstances, normal people wouldn't be convinced after being hit like this, especially in such a tone. They might even start a fight. After all, the cooperation between them was too weak, and there was no foundation. It was too easy to have conflicts. Ningxi's attitude inevitably surprised her. In fact, she had been surprised many times since she came here. When she was sent here by Qin Xingyue at first, she had the attitude of completing the task and leaving. She wouldn't do anything else. There were too many artists like Ningxi who had opened a studio and started their own brand. They were just there for show. They were all superficial and arrogant. There was no need for her to talk to such people. She believed that Ningxi was the same. Therefore, she held the principle that it was better to have less trouble. She didn't want to waste any extra energy in this kind of place. She didn't want to make any mistakes. However, as time went by, this girl really surprised her. Although she wasn't professional in many areas and even took a lot of detours, she had been learning and making progress. She even had a lot of unique opinions. Gong Shangze treated this career with his life. Even Han Momo had a strong sense of collective honor for the studio. In this kind of atmosphere, she had already been unknowingly influenced by her own opinion. Just now, before her brain could react, her body had already impulsively opened her mouth. Although she was a little surprised, it was within her expectations. At this moment, in the face of the girl's humble eyes, Qiao Weilon finally said, "It's a commercial society now. People pay more attention to the outside than the inside. They prefer flashy things. Business is definitely not something that can be negotiated with perseverance. Your behavior in the eyes of others is nothing more than pestering." Ningxi quickly took out a small notebook, and her eyes became brighter. "Then what should I do to make the person in charge of SF be interested in our brand?" Seeing Ningxi acting like a primary school student, Qiao Weilon coughed lightly and said, "It's impossible for the time being. That kind of company is very powerful, and will never accept the agency of a brand of our level. No matter how perfect your proposal was, if you chose the wrong target, you would just be trying to fish from a tree. Right now we don't even have a small client. It's not realistic for us to reach the top in a single step and negotiate with the industry's top companies in one go." Ningxi fell into deep thought as she listened. Qiao Weilon's words undoubtedly pointed out the crux of the matter. Perhaps it was because she had succeeded in persuading Qin Shengyue last time that she had subconsciously set a high goal for herself this time. After all, Qin Shengyue had played a little smart that time, and it was impossible to rely on luck and speculation every time. Seeing that Ningxi understood, Qiao Weilon continued, "In the current state of our studio, it's not suitable to cooperate with a big company like SF. According to our position, the most suitable partners are those socialites." Chapter 918. The problem now is, how do we open up the socialite market? Han Momo asked subconsciously, "Prepare 10 sets of clothes for me. I'll send them out," Qiao Weilon said. "What?" Han Momo's eyes widened. Send them out?" "Yes. We open the studio to make money, not to do charity. If we just send them out, we'll lose everything." Han Momo was surprised and looked at Qiao Weilon suspiciously. She had thought she had a good idea. She was too blind. After a moment of silence, Ningxi looked at Gong Shangze and asked, "How many sets of advanced custom-made clothes do we have now?" "Exactly 10, but we were going to release them as a new product." Gong Shangze answered. Ningxi said directly, "Then don't release it. Leave it to Director Qiao." Qiao Weilon nodded slightly, and then looked at Gong Shangze. "I need detailed information about each set of clothes, material, design concept." While Qiao Weilon was talking to Gong Shangze, Han Momo hurriedly pulled Ningxi aside and said in a low voice, "Sister Shi, this is too risky. I've calculated that the total value of those clothes is at least a few million. We've used the best materials and quality. If we give them away for free, we'll lose almost all of our profits during this period of time. It'll cause a rupture in our capital chain. Don't use people you doubt." Ningxi narrowed her eyes, and then gritted her teeth. "Besides, you can't get a wolf without risking your life." She had waited for so long, and finally Qiao Weilon took the initiative to intervene in the studio's business. How could she let go of this opportunity? Even if she failed, she would accept it. Moreover, she didn't think she would fail. Qiao Weilon said she would be responsible for sending the clothes out. This meant that she was going to use her own connections for the studio. Connections were Qiao Weilon's greatest weapon. Seeing Ningxi's firm attitude and confidence, Han Momo didn't try to persuade her anymore. Gong Shangze was packing up the clothes with Han Momo when Ningxi suddenly rushed over. "Oh wait! Oh my little sweethearts, let me say goodbye to them." Han Momo was speechless. She didn't know who said it so directly just now. Did she really think that she didn't care at all? He didn't feel any heartache at all. Qiao Weilon looked at Ningxi's expression, as if her flesh was being cut off. A smile appeared on her face, but at the same time, her heart was even more touched. It could be seen that Ningxi's current economic conditions were not very good, and these clothes were all the liquid funds of the whole studio. However, she still chose to believe her without hesitation. Ningxi kissed those beautiful clothes one by one, and then suddenly thought of something. Ah, wait, by the way, Director Qiao, I have a good friend here. She's super beautiful and cute, and her identity must be in line with the position of our studio. Can you give me one for her? Qiao Weilon nodded. Of course you're the boss. I am indeed the boss, but you are the light. Ningxi was overjoyed when she got the approval. Then, she chose a set of youthful and lively clothes for young girls. Oh my. This dress will definitely look good on my heir. And it was so expensive. They absolutely could not let outsiders benefit from this. Chapter 919. Instead of waiting for the right price, it was better to take the initiative to find the most suitable person for them. With Zeiling's strength, Qin Xingyue's reputation, and Qiao Weilon's connections, they had a high chance of winning this bet. Ningxi patted Gong Shangze's shoulder. Shangze, the baby was taken away. Does it hurt? After all, he and a dozen professional craftsmen had made these clothes meticulously. She remembered that it took 7 days and 7 nights just to sew the metal decorations on one of them. Gong Shangze didn't look reluctant at all. I trust you, boss. Moreover, without her, they wouldn't exist at all. She was their master. With Qiao Weilon's help, Ningxi felt much more relaxed. After lunch, she rushed to the set. In order to move easily, she was still dressed as a man. The crew had just finished eating and were taking a short break. Although it was only the second day, there was already a small group. Shen Hanchen, Qi Feng, and Ji Yuming were close. Ku Mingyu didn't have a professional background, didn't have a contract with any company, and was a loner, so he stayed in the corner alone. Occasionally, a few small characters would go up to talk to him, but when they didn't get a response, they stopped trying. Senior, you're here? Ji Yuming saw Ningxi from afar. Halfway through her conversation with Qi Feng, she left him and ran over happily like a bird. Hey, it's only been 1 night, and you're already thinking about her. Ah. Ji Yuming, wake up, this is a woman. But this person really had a unique aura, especially when she was with girls. It was so comfortable when they interacted with each other, as if they were being held in the palm of their hands. Seeing the little girl running over, Ningxi immediately smiled. Well, have you eaten? Yes, I have. Director Shen is too much. The food on set is so good that I ate too much today. Ji Yuming clutched her stomach and complained. Ha, it's okay. You're not fat. Really? Really? It's okay even if you're a little fat. You'll be cuter if you're fat. No way. Ji Yuming covered her face shyly, looking like she wanted to marry him. Not far away, Qi Feng squeezed the bottle of water in his hand until it was deformed. Damn. What's so good about that guy? She's just a sweet talker. You only know how to coax girls. Hypocrite. At this moment, a female player next to him interrupted. What's wrong with coaxing a girl? Isn't coaxing girls the most basic skill of a man? That's right. No. What's wrong? But she was clearly a girl. Was there anyone who snatched his job like that? The competition was fierce to begin with. Don't you think so, Hanchen? Qi Feng turned to look at Shen Hanchen. Shen Hanchen didn't say a word. He was engrossed in his script and didn't hear him at all. Qi Feng was speechless. How pitiful. It seemed like he had been abused badly yesterday. Suddenly being so serious made him feel a lot of pressure. Other than Shen Hanchen, there was also the second male lead, Ku Mingyu, whose abilities were unknown. She didn't know how good this kid's acting was when he kept silent. Shen Hanchen was abused so badly yesterday. This kid definitely wouldn't have it easy today, right? TSK. What scene are Ku Mingyu and Ningxi filming today? Qi Feng mumbled as he flipped through the script. I got it. Scene 28. Damn. It's actually a kiss scene. Although they didn't kiss in the end. Ha 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 ha. Hanchen, someone's backing you up. Ku Mingyu and Ningxi are filming a kiss scene today. How could she possibly kiss a man? Ku Mingyu is dead meat. Chapter 920. Although Ningxi was essentially a woman, when she dressed up as a man, people would completely ignore this point. Therefore, for Ku Mingyu, the person he was going to kiss was a man. How could he act like this? Shin Mian was probably worried that Ko Mingyu wouldn't perform well, so she called him over and talked about the scene for a while. Alas, Ningxi's acting was too good, which was also a problem. The others also heard that the scene was going to be very exciting, so they were all a little excited and looked forward to the scene. Several fujoshis were so excited that they almost jumped up. Ji Yumeng, on the other hand, was reading the script sullenly. Damn it, Ko Mingyu was going to kiss the senior today. Let go of the senior, and let me do it. In this drama, except for Ning Xiaoming, the heroine's best friend, who knew from the beginning that the heroine was a woman, the second male lead, Lin Yu, was the first to find out. After Lin Yu found out that the heroine was a woman, he gradually developed a strange feeling for her, but he also knew that the person the heroine liked was his good brother, Si Xia. Therefore, Lin Yu was a very contradictory and struggling character in the drama. There were a lot of eye contact scenes, and it was even more difficult to act than the heroine. When the crew was preparing for the shooting, there was suddenly a burst of screams in the crowd. Ah! Jiang Mai. Who? Jiang Mai? Where? He's over there. The one brought in by the director's assistant. Oh, it's really my Mai. My Mai is so handsome today. But why is he here today? He must be here to visit the set. It's said that he is very close to Brother Shi. Looking at the man who was not far away, surrounded by a group of girls, Ningxi was speechless. This guy really came. Not only that, today he was wearing a Neil Spring Summer Series embroidered satin flight jacket, black trousers, a metal necklace and a tail ring, and the obsidian earrings on his earlobes were shining with a faint cold light. He could walk directly on the red carpet. It's just a visit. Do you have to be so coquettish? Because of Jiang Mai's arrival, the crew was excited for a while. Some asked for autographs and some took pictures. Shin Mian was kind enough to give the girls 10 minutes to chase their idols. Although they had seen too many big stars in this line of work, they still couldn't resist the temptation of beauty, not to mention Jiang Mai. Yumeng, aren't you going? To Ningxi's surprise, Ji Yumeng remained unmoved even though the crew and some actresses had surrounded her. Ji Yumeng looked at Ningxi and immediately showed her loyalty. Senior, I'm your die-hard fan. No matter how handsome Jiang Mai is, I won't take a second look at him. Besides, he's not that handsome. He's far from you, senior. Just as Ji Yumeng finished speaking, a shadow suddenly fell on top of her head. In the next second, the man's slightly loud and slightly gloomy voice sounded above her head. Oh, Senior Jiang. Senior Jiang. Ji Yumeng stumbled back several steps. Little girl, what did you just say? Jiang Mai took off his sunglasses and asked quietly. His peach blossom eyes were like automatic generators. Jiang Mai was really a natural-born star. His whole body was shining, and his temperament was extremely aggressive. After all, Ji Yumeng was still young. When Jiang Mai suddenly approached her and released his aura, the little girl suddenly blushed. Only now did he notice the supporting actor. In the middle of the set not far away, Shin Mian was talking to Ningxi about the scene. Aside from the two of them, there was a young man standing quietly next to them. He looked ordinary, had an ordinary temperament, and didn't seem to exist at all. When Ningxi and Ko Mingyu went to change, Jiang Mai immediately went up to Shin Mian. Old Shin, are you blind? Why did you choose such a person to be the supporting actor? Get lost. You're the blind one. His acting is good. Shin Mian snapped. Chapter 922. Jiang Mai's face was full of disdain. Is he better than me? You. Shin Mian suddenly revealed a pained expression. Don't you know that you're the #1 actor in the directing circle who the directors don't want to work with the most? Have some self-awareness, you bastard. Fuck. Why? Why don't they want to work with me? I'm so popular. Jiang Mai was suddenly full of anger. If it weren't for your popularity, who would want to work with you? I don't need to say much about how difficult it is to please you. The key is your acting skills. They are like a fucking roller coaster, sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes up, and sometimes down. They are unpredictable and completely dependent on the mood. Which director can stand you? Soon, the lighting and camera were ready. The shooting began. On the balcony covered with green plants, Ji Feishua was sleeping quietly in a round rattan hanging chair. The girl was wearing men's home clothes, with a book in her hand. Her soft black short hair was dancing in the warm halo under the sun. And under the camera, there was almost no pores on her delicate skin. She was like the best mutton fat jade. A breeze blew, and the pages of the book were turned, making a slight rustling sound. The world was stable, and the years were peaceful. When everyone saw this scene, they couldn't help but think of this sentence in their minds. Just then, with a squeak, the door of the balcony was pushed open, and a tall figure walked in. The moment Ko Mingyu appeared in the center of the scene, everyone present couldn't help but gasp, including Jiang Mai, who couldn't help but sit up slightly. At this moment, Ko Mingyu was wearing a gray checkered suit with a white shirt and a black tie. He was holding a pure white velvet blanket in his hand. His whole person was like the depths of a dense forest covered in pure white snow, exuding a cold and serene aura. Obviously, it was the same person, but the whole temperament of his whole person had undergone an earth-shaking change. A moment ago, he was even a somewhat gloomy and indifferent young man, but now he was like a jade, unparalleled in the world. This kind of breathtaking had nothing to do with his appearance, but his temperament. For an actor, temperament was something that couldn't be seen or touched, and it was the most difficult thing to control. Qi Feng even stood up in shock. Fuck. How could this be? This guy is like a completely different person when he's on the screen. Is this really Ko Mingyu? Shen Hanshan continued to stare at the camera, and Ji Yuming also held her breath and couldn't help but murmur. Is it my illusion? I feel like the way Ko Mingyu looks at you is not acting. Ko Mingyu's shooting continued. After Lin Yu walked to the balcony, he very gently covered Ji Feishua with the blanket in his hand. When he looked at Ji Feishua, his temperament instantly changed again. It was like a warm breeze in spring, melting the ice and snow, and his eyes seemed to have tens of thousands of flowers reviving. After covering Ji Feishua with the blanket, Lin Yu was about to get up and leave, but because he took one more look at Ji Feishua, he stopped in his tracks. His hands were on the armrests on both sides, and as if he was greatly bewitched, he uncontrollably approached Ji Feishua little by little. In that pair of eyes that were gradually sinking, love, reason, struggle contained countless complex emotions, surging up and down, shaking the heart. As he approached Ji Feishua, almost everyone present was brought into the emotional world that belonged to Lin Yu, and there was silence. Chapter 923. Would Lin Yu continue to kiss her? After all, he had suppressed his feelings for Ji Feishua for so long. He was the first to know that Ji Feishua was a girl, and he had been helping her cover it up. He protected her behind her back as a friend, and watched her fall in love with Xia. At this moment, Lin Yu was only a breath away from Ji Feishua, and he was about to kiss her in the next second. Fuck. Didn't the script say that he wouldn't kiss her? What does this guy want to do? Jiang Mai couldn't help but stand up. He felt that this guy had an aura that made him very uncomfortable. What was going on? Shin Miang glared at him and said in a low voice, "Lower your voice. Don't disturb my actor. Your good actor is using public equipment for private purposes." While Jiang Mai was arguing, Lin Yu suddenly closed his eyes slightly. In an instant, all the complicated emotions were isolated, and the ambiguous and tense atmosphere suddenly disappeared. Lin Yu closed his eyes and stood up. He tidied up the blanket that had been blown away by the wind, and then sat in the rattan chair opposite Ji Feishua. He picked up the book that Ji Feishua had scattered on the ground, and quietly flipped through it, as if nothing had happened. There was not even the slightest ripple on his face. It was as if the staff had suddenly woken up from a charming dream, and returned to the real world. At the same time, Ko Mingyu also showed one of the biggest characteristics of Lin Yu, which was that he was shrewd. After all, he could control his emotions so quickly. Just when everyone on the scene was shocked by Ko Mingyu's acting skills several times, Ning Shi, who had been pretending to be asleep with her eyes closed, didn't know anything at this moment. She just judged from the subtle breath that someone suddenly approached her, and then left. Before leaving, she also heard a very light sigh in her ears. That sigh seemed to have magic power. It was still lingering in her ears, as if it was telling her the owner's depressed and deep emotions. Finally, after silently counting the time, Ningxi decided that she could open her eyes. After a while, Ningxi moved slightly. Her long eyelashes trembled a few times, and then she slowly opened her eyes. The moment Ningxi opened her eyes, she saw a man sitting opposite her, holding a book in his hand, his head tilted. Hearing that she had woken up, the man raised his head slightly, and the thin layer of ice on his face instantly broke. He looked at her gently and lovingly. "You're awake." When she opened her eyes and saw this scene, Ningxi's heart skipped a beat. Then she stood there dumbfounded. That's right, it was the first time in history. Ningxi Enji. Ji Yuming looked surprised, Shen Hanchen looked pleased, and Qi Fong was dumbfounded. He thought it would be Ke Mingyu who Enji, so how did it turn out to be Ningxi? The one who was the most shocked was Jiang Mai. Fuck, he actually got to see Ningxi in his lifetime. Shen Mian was also stunned for a moment before she came to her senses. She hurriedly said, "Hey Ningxi, what's wrong with you? Did he really fall asleep just now?" Ningxi suddenly came to her senses, got up from the rattan chair, and couldn't help but take another look at Ke Mingyu. In that instant, why did this person give her the feeling that he was a demon king? Chapter 924. Ningxi pinched her eyebrows and apologized. "I'm sorry, director. I was distracted." "It's okay. The first half was perfect. We can keep it all. Just reshoot from where you woke up." Shen Mian said happily. He had been worried that Ke Mingyu wouldn't be able to act well in emotional scenes because he was too reserved. He didn't expect that he could act so well. The look in his eyes was perfect. He had a feeling that when the movie was released, even if he was only the second male lead and didn't have a dazzling appearance like Shen Hanchen, he would definitely have a lot of fans just because of his deep love. "Okay." Ningxi answered absent-mindedly and couldn't help but search for Ke Mingyu in the crowd. After the scene, Ke Mingyu disappeared into the crowd again. It took a long time to find him. Ningxi was looking thoughtfully at the man reading the script in the corner, when Jiang Mai suddenly jumped over and pulled her over. "Ning Xiaoxi, come here." "What?" Jiang Mai scratched his head and said mysteriously, "Ning Xiaoxi, don't you think that guy acted very much like my uncle?" "Nonsense. Even you felt it." "How could I not? Didn't you notice that I was good at NGs?" Ningxi said grumpily. In the corner, Qi Fong excitedly went up to Ke Mingyu and said, "Hey Ke Mingyu, you were so awesome. Even that arrogant fellow was shocked to the point of NG by you. Did you really learn all of your acting skills by yourself? Do you have any tricks?" "No." Qi Fong had been chattering away for a long time, but the other party only replied with 2 words. His expression immediately turned ugly, and he embarrassedly returned to his seat. Fuck. He's just a newbie with an ordinary name, ordinary looks, and ordinary temperament. So what if he's good at acting? The entertainment circle is so deep. Does he think it's easy? Ji Yuming thought. I heard that Ke Mingyu doesn't even have an agency. I don't know who he is. Maybe he has a powerful background? If that was the case, he didn't need to deal with them because he didn't need to spend time on them. He's just a poor worker. At this moment, Shen Hanchen spoke up. Qi Fong immediately said, "Hanchen, you asked around? See, I knew it. He doesn't look like he has a backer." After a short break, the filming resumed. On the balcony filled with sunlight, the man sat on a chair, holding a book in his hands. His slender fingers occasionally flipped through the pages, his body exuding a noble aura. The girl was nestled in the rattan chair across from him. At this moment, she was slowly opening her eyes. "You're awake." The man looked up. His eyes were even more dazzling than the afternoon sun. When he looked at her, he was gentle and didn't have the slightest bit of aggression. He wrapped her up with warmth. Ningxi. Ningxi's lines. Not far away, Shen Mian anxiously waved her hands and feet to remind her. However, Ningxi was still staring blankly at Ke Mingyu. Ningxi again. Shen Mian. What kind of situation was this? Why did he feel like there was something wrong with the way Ningxi looked at Ke Mingyu? It was as if she had fallen in love. After shouting cut, Shen Mian called Ningxi over to remind her. "Ningxi, watch your eyes. The way you express it is wrong." In this scene, Ji Feishua completely treats Lin Yu as a friend, and doesn't have any other feelings for him. You can't look like you're moved. Chapter 925. Jiang Mai's mouth twitched as he listened to Shin Mian's words. He was speechless at Ningxi's expression. In the corner, Qi Feng took out a bag of melon seeds and watched the show while munching on them. Ji Yiming looked worried for Ningxi. At the same time, she didn't understand why Ningxi failed again in such a simple scene. This wasn't right. Hearing Shin Mian's reminder, Ningxi wiped her face and calmed herself down. Director, I got it. Let's do it again. I can do it this time. Okay, let's do it again. Shin Mian gestured for everyone to start again. Under the sunlight, Ningxi slowly opened her eyes. You're awake? The man looked up and asked. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. Ningxi was stunned again, but fortunately, she reacted in time this time. Just as she was about to continue saying her lines, the man saw her staring at him in a daze. Suddenly, the corners of his lips curled up slightly, and his deep eyes rippled with a trace of a shallow smile. This was great. Because of this smile, Ningxi was completely stunned again. The third NG, Ningxi felt very tired. Shin Mian coughed lightly. Ningxi, are you not in a good mood today? I'll give you 10 minutes to rest. Then she gestured for the staff to rest too. She didn't want to disturb Ningxi and let her adjust her state of mind. Qi Feng sighed and shook his head. He said to Ji Yiming, "This is your senior idol. See, this is her real ability. It only took 1 day for her to return to her original state. Such a simple scene, but she failed 3 times in a row. She can't even memorize the most basic lines. I thought she was very capable, but it turns out she's just a pretentious prick. Senior is just not in a good mood today. Why are you gloating? You should worry about yourself. You still have a kissing scene with Shen Hanchen later," Ji Yiming said unhappily. As soon as she said that, Qi Feng's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot. Shen Hanchen's expression was obviously not good either. That's right, they did have a kissing scene today. At this moment, Ningxi was lying on the chair with a lifeless expression. Jiang Mai stood condescendingly on the side, his face full of disdain. You're just a little bit good at acting. Look at you. Is there a need to have such poor willpower? Ningxi was a little annoyed. What do you know? It's easy for you to say that. Is that even a little bit alike? I almost thought he was possessed by Lu Tingxiao. Did you notice that when he smiled at me just now? You're practically luring me to commit a crime. When did he smile? Are you hallucinating? Jiang Mai was speechless. Ningxi was tired and didn't want to talk. She was the only one who saw it from that angle. Is it really that similar? After all, Jiang Mai was just a bystander, so he couldn't know Ningxi's feelings. However, judging from Ningxi's reaction, he guessed that it was true. I'm not talking about his looks, it's just a feeling. Sigh, I can't describe it to you. Do you think that Ke Mingyu is Lu Tingxiao in disguise? Jiang Mai was speechless. Have you read too many Wuxia novels? What kind of disguise could disguise someone to such an extent? Do you really think there's something like a human skin mask? Ningxi murmured. Who said there isn't? Jiang Mai thought for a while. There is, but even the special effects team in Hollywood, which has the highest level of disguise in the world, can't achieve such an effect. I took a closer look. If it's really a disguise, there's no flaw at all. Ningxi touched her chin. Tut, the Hollywood special effects team is nothing. The two chatted for a while, and Ningxi couldn't sit still anymore. She suddenly stood up. No. Where are you going? To find out what's going on, Ningxi said and walked straight in the direction of Ke Mingyu. Chapter 926. What's there to talk about? Is this guy crazy? Jiang Mai mumbled behind her. Ningxi walked straight to Ke Mingyu and stopped in front of him. Ke Mingyu sensed that someone was approaching. He looked up from the script and said, Senior. Ningxi scratched her head with a hiss. How could it be? How could it be the devil? Yesterday this guy came to ask for her autograph and said that he was her fan. Senior? Ke Mingyu called again when he saw Ningxi standing there without saying anything. Well, nothing. I just wanted to have a chat with you. You're a good actor. But I want to know why you chose to play the role of Lin Yu in this way? Ningxi said as she scanned the man's face with her X-ray eyes. It was a plain face without any special features. There was no trace of disguise and the facial expression was very natural. If it was really a disguise, There weren't many people in the world who could do it to this extent. Ningxi couldn't figure it out and had to give up. If she could, she really wanted to strip him naked and take a look at him. I thought about the script and felt that this was the most suitable way to play Linyu. Ku Mingyu's answer was normal. Ningxi looked at the other party's open and closed lips, looked at his eyes that had caused her to lose focus for a moment, and felt a strong attraction pulling at her. She was anxious to know whether he was Lu Tingxiao or not, thus, unknowingly, she couldn't help but stretch out her hand towards the man's cheek. When Ningxi's fingers touched Linyu, a strong force pulled her all the way to the corner. Jiang Mai said angrily, "What the fuck? Ningxi, are you fucking crazy? This is the crew. The crew is the crew. Can't I act with him? Why are you so nervous?" Ningxi didn't care. "Is there anyone who acts like you? You're looking at him as if you want to strip him naked. Do you want to have a scandal before the movie is released?" Ningxi coughed lightly. "Are you exaggerating? What do you think?" Jiang Mai rolled his eyes at her. "Wake up, okay? What are you thinking about? I think you've gone crazy thinking about my uncle. Look at everyone, it's him." Ningxi rubbed her forehead. "I guess I'm really a little neurotic. Wake up, wake up. Senior, are you all right?" At this time, Ji Yuming walked over with a look of concern. She lowered her voice and said, "Senior, are you on your period? Do you want me to buy you some brown sugar water?" Looking at the concerned little girl, Ningxi chuckled. "No, don't worry. Thank you. You're welcome. You can do it, Senior. I believe in you." Ji Yuming cheered her on. Ningxi looked at Ji Yuming, and a thought suddenly flashed through her mind. She remembered that the first scene yesterday was Ji Yuming sitting on her lap. At that time, Ku Mingyu didn't seem to have any special reaction. However, at that time, Ku Mingyu did not have any presence, so she did not pay much attention to him. Chapter 927. You're awake? Yeah. Ningxi yawned and stretched lazily. Then, she pulled out the pillow from behind her and hugged it in her arms, staring blankly. Although Ji Feishue was dressed as a man, she had just woken up and was in front of Linyu, who knew her identity. She was defenseless, and the fierce and unruly aura she had deliberately maintained to maintain a man's image faded away. Her expression was soft, and there was even a tuft of hair on her head. She looked like a sleepy kitten and was exceptionally cute. In an instant, all the staff and actors at the scene were stunned by her cuteness. "Oh, Senior is so cute. So cute. How can you be so cute? I didn't expect Senior to have such a side." Ji Yuming took out her phone and excitedly took photos. "As expected of Senior. You're amazing." The melon seeds in Chi Fong's hand fell to the ground. Seeing the girl hugging the pillow and curling up in the rattan chair, his cheeks inexplicably burned. Damn it. He actually thought this annoying guy was cute. Shen Hanchen was also stunned. From an extremely arrogant and somewhat annoying man to such an obedient and cute girl. This change was even greater than Ku Mingyu's transformation. "Does it look good?" Ji Feishue tilted her head and looked at the complete works of Shakespeare in the man's hands. "Hide it well." The man looked at her and opened his mouth to say something that Ji Feishue didn't understand. Moreover, the man's tone seemed to be slightly depressed and unhappy. Why? Ji Feishue looked puzzled. Her expression was clear and innocent. In front of Linyu, she completely revealed her true personality. The man didn't speak and only flipped to one of the pages and handed it to her. Ji Feishue looked down and saw that the page that Linyu had flipped to was filled with a person's name without her noticing. It was filled with Xixia. Xixia. Ji Feishue's cheeks instantly turned red, and she snatched the book. "You're so annoying. How can you just casually read other people's books?" With that, she opened the door and ran out of the balcony with the book in her arms. Behind her, the man looked at the girl's retreating figure and felt helpless and amused. However, after everything had dissipated, there was only loneliness and an unfathomable undercurrent. "Very good. You passed." Chun Mian breathed a sigh of relief and smiled. "Ningxi, you did well this time. It's exactly the feeling I want." It was even better than what he had expected. What he wanted to achieve was for the female lead's image to be deeply rooted in people's hearts, no matter if she was a man or a woman. Ningxi was so good at acting as a man that he was almost afraid that she wouldn't be good at acting as a woman. Sure enough, he worried too much. Little Ke's performance today was also very good. Keep it up. Shin Mian was also generous with her praise for Ke Mingyu. Out of appreciation for talent, he was even considering helping Ke Mingyu find a suitable management company. Otherwise, it would be a pity if such a good seedling took the wrong path. After the shooting, Ningxi couldn't help but want to get close to Ke Mingyu, but Jiang Mai stopped her. Stop. None of your business. I don't care about you. Just wait for Lin Jiji to kill you if you start a scandal. Sister Jiji isn't that cruel. Hehe, she's not cruel? How naive. If you want to die, I won't stop you. Chapter 928. Jiang Mai was a little aggrieved. He had to admit that he wasn't as good as Lu Tingxiao. But now, a newcomer who came out of nowhere could make Ningxi completely ignore him. He couldn't stand it. Seeing that Ningxi was still restless, Jiang Mai said helplessly, I'll help you find out more about this guy, okay? Okay. Ningxi nodded immediately. Ningxi looked through today's filming schedule and found that she only had one scene with Ke Mingyu. She couldn't help but feel a little regretful. Most of the plot was focused on the male and female leads. There weren't many scenes for the second male lead, but most of his scenes were with the female lead. The next scene was between Shen Hanchen and Qi Fang. It was also a kissing scene. Shen Hanchen found that his feelings for the female lead were getting weirder and weirder. At one point he wondered if he liked men. In a panic, he found Qi Fang to test his feelings. This scene could be considered the biggest joke in the entire play. Most of Qi Fang's scenes were quite funny. If he played this role well, he would be very likable. Come here. Xia put out the cigarette in his hand and suddenly called Jiang Xiaohai, who was sitting on the side playing games. What? Jiang Xiaohai didn't even raise his head. Xia simply walked over and grabbed Jiang Xiaohai's chin. His face was getting closer and closer. Ugh. When they were about to touch each other's lips, they turned around and pretended to vomit. All the staff on the set laughed. This scene was finally finished after more than a dozen takes. The two rushed over to rinse their mouths after they finished filming. After rinsing his mouth, Qi Fang leaned back in the chair helplessly. Retribution came too fast. I won't gloat anymore. Shen Hanchen wiped his mouth with a handkerchief, glanced at Qi Fang, and immediately turned his head away with obvious disdain. Fuck. Why are you so disdainful? You kissed me forcefully. I'm the biggest victim here, okay? Looking at the two, Ji Yuming almost couldn't straighten her back with laughter. While they were laughing, the director's assistant suddenly came over with a girl. It seemed that someone had come to visit. Seeing the girl behind the director's assistant, Qi Fang was suddenly full of energy. Wow. A beauty. A beauty. And he's exactly the type I like. What a cold and aloof elder sister. Qi Fang was so excited that he was boiling. Shen Hanchen also straightened up, and his expression changed slightly. The eldest daughter of the Zhuang family, Zhuang Ke? How could she be here? He had seen him once when he attended a banquet with his father. Not to mention, just by looking at his aura, there was no way he was mistaken. Seeing Qi Fang, Shen Hanchen, and all the men present looking at the girl with drooling faces, Ji Yuming puffed her cheeks and looked unhappy. What? How is it nice? Her face was cold as if someone owed her $8 million. Why do you men like this kind of woman? Ha! I think you're just jealous, right? Qi Fang teased. Who's jealous? Ji Yuming was like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. She was the sweet type. Indeed, she was most envious of those cold and aloof beauties. Who is that beauty? If he's a celebrity, there's no way I wouldn't remember him, right? Qi Fang poked his head out and asked. Imperial Capital's #1 socialite, Zhuang Ke Shen Hanchen replied. Chapter 929. Damn. No way. Qi Fang's eyes widened. How do you know? Do you know her? Looking at Qi Fang's admiring eyes, Shen Hanchen's vanity was greatly satisfied. I saw her once at a dinner party. Is she here to see you? Qi Fang suddenly asked. Shen Hanchen shook his head. We don't know each other. I don't think so. In fact, he also wanted to know the answer to this question. Was she here to see Jiang Mai? After all, Jiang Mai had the most fans in the circle of socialites. Is she here to see Jiang Mai? Ji Yiming also asked. Qi Feng scratched his head. No way. Jiang Mai is not a member of our crew. He is only here to visit Ningxi. How could Miss Zhuang come here to chase after him? That's strange. Since you said she is Zhuang Ku'er, and we are all newcomers, no one has the ability to invite this distinguished lady, right? Ji Yiming was puzzled. Miss Zhuang, please come this way. Brother, she has already told me in advance that you will come. The assistant said while secretly looking at the beauty beside him. Thank you. Zhuang Ku'er nodded slightly, feeling a little strange about how the assistant addressed Ningxi. Brother Shi? Was it because Ningxi was a woman dressed as a man in this movie? Is Ningxi dressed as a man today? Zhuang Ku'er asked hesitantly. The assistant nodded and looked a little excited. Yes. She dressed as a man these 2 days. Brother Shi is so handsome in men's clothes. It's a pity that you didn't come yesterday. The scene yesterday was really wonderful. Really? Zhuang Ku'er felt a little regretful. At the thought of seeing the Prince Charming, that she had been longing for a long time, her heart couldn't help but beat faster and faster. Brother Shi, your friend is here to visit you. The assistant shouted to Ningxi, who had just changed her clothes and was talking to the director. Huh. Ningxi subconsciously looked in the direction of the assistant. For the next scene, Ningxi had changed into another set of clothes. She wore a black leather flight jacket inlaid with willow studs, washed jeans, and boots printed with exaggerated patterns. Her hair was messy and fluffy, and her bangs slightly covered her eyes. She was dressed very similar to the day she appeared in Lu Jingli's villa. The moment she saw Ningxi, Zhuang Ku'er's heart skipped a beat. It was as if she had traveled back in time to the day when she first saw her Prince Charming. Ningxi greeted the director and went up to her. Ku, you're here. Why didn't you call me in advance? I could have picked you up. Zhuang Ku'er stared at her blankly, her eyes slightly red, trembling with tears. Ningxi panicked and hurriedly held her shoulders. What's wrong? Is your brother naughty again? Zhuang Ku'er shook her head. No, what's that? I'm just happy. Zhuang Ku'er lowered her eyes in embarrassment. I thought I would never see you again. Ningxi knew that the you she was talking about was Tangxi. Ningxi actually felt a little guilty about Zhuang Ku'er. She had accidentally flirted with her, but she couldn't take responsibility. However, when they first met, she didn't expect that they would become such good friends in the future. Ningxi gently held Zhuang Ku'er in her arms and softly comforted her. Silly, how could I? You can see me every day. I'll let you see me whenever you want. Zhuang Ku'er nodded happily. Okay. Not far away, Jiang Mai looked as if he had seen a ghost. Damn, Zhuang Ku'er had gone on a blind date with his uncle before. Shouldn't she be Ningxi's rival in love? What the hell was going on now? While he was in shock, he suddenly felt a chill on his back. Inexplicably, he felt a familiar chill around him. Chapter 930. This horrifying feeling was far too familiar. An idea flashed across Jiang Mai's mind, and he subconsciously turned his head to look in Ku Mingyu's direction. Then, he saw Ku Mingyu do something that shocked him to the core. The man raised his hand and pinched his eyebrows. That was a small action his uncle habitually made when he was suppressing his emotions. The same action would give different feelings to different people, but Ku Mingyu was exactly the same as Lu Tingxiao. And Ku Mingyu was not acting now. Damn it. Was Ku Mingyu really his uncle in disguise? How could Ning Xiaoxi's intuition be so sharp? Jiang Mai's face was full of shock and doubt. He was about to tell Ningxi what had happened. However, at this moment, Ningxi seemed to have noticed his gaze. Her ordinary eyes suddenly became cold, and she locked her eyes on him in a frightening way. That was a warning. Jiang Mai's back suddenly stiffened, and he was frozen on the spot. His survival instinct made him immediately raise his hand to zip his mouth. Uncle, I didn't see anything. I won't say anything. Time passed. After a while, the man was sure that he wouldn't say anything, and the terrifying warning in his eyes receded like the tide. He closed his eyes and rested. Jiang Mai was so scared that his back was soaked with cold sweat. Damn it. It was true that with Ning Xiaoxi, Anything magical could happen. It was so exciting. At the same time, Ningxi was happily chatting with Zhuangke on the set, and the others were gossiping in the direction of Ningxi and Zhuangke. No one knew that Jiang Mai had just experienced a thrilling experience. Damn it! Miss Zhuang actually came to see that guy. Did you see that? She even said that you were a senior. He's more shameless than all of us put together, okay? Infuriating. Infuriating. Why is Miss Zhuang so close to that guy? She must have been deceived by his glib tongue. She was obviously a noble and cold lady, but she was so soft in front of Ningxi. It was simply unscientific. Ji Yuming stared at the two people, and then kicked Qi Fang. Shut up. Senior is a woman, okay? Qi Fang chuckled. Oh, you still know it's a woman? If she's a woman, why are you so angry and jealous? Shut up. Ji Yuming replied with another round of Nine bony claws. In the crew, Ningxi was the most gentle to her, and had the closest relationship with her. She had always felt that she was the most special. Now, a woman with a noble status suddenly appeared, and was so intimate with Ningxi. How could she be happy? After Zhuangke came, Ningxi immediately put aside other things for the time being, and pulled her to a chair to sit down. I'm sorry, Xiaoxi. I was going to come earlier, but I had to look after my brother. Zhuangke looked helpless. How is your brother? Ningxi asked. He fell asleep as soon as he came back last night, and has been staying at home today. He doesn't seem to be in a good mood, but he is much calmer now, Zhuangke replied. Because of the incident last time, Grandpa almost had a heart attack and her father lost control. Her mother was busy with work, and was not at home all year round. Now she could only put aside everything and focus on her brother. She also told the servants to inform her first if there was anything, especially not to call Grandpa. Otherwise, if something happened again, the consequences would be unimaginable. She still had a lingering fear when she thought of the incident last time. The male lead had a girl he had been secretly in love with for a long time, but because of this problem of his, he did not know how to pursue her. In the living room, Xia, who usually had a meticulous image, looked haggard. His hair was messy, and he had 2 dark circles under his eyes. He slumped on the sofa, looking as if he had nothing to live for. Gigi Feishue came in. She was dressed very well. She took out 2 cans of beer from the fridge, and threw one to Xia. My dear Master Shen, I'm just chasing a girl. Why are you so embarrassed? Ji Feishue said as she took out 2 cans of beer from the fridge, and threw one to Xia. Sure enough, I've been too busy recently to date Mr. Boss, so I miss him too much. Jiang Mai. Please, can you give me a warning before you show off your affection next time? It was forcefully stuffed into his mouth. At this time, Zhuangke hurried over after receiving a call. Xiaoxi, you did a good job. I really want to watch you for a while more. Unfortunately, I have to go now. My family just called and said that my brother ran out again. Why is this guy so troublesome? Ningxi frowned and said worriedly, be careful on the road. Call me if you need any help. Okay, I will. Oh wait. By the way, I have something for you. Chapter 933. Ningxi said and took out the advanced custom-made dress from the studio. This is the new product of my studio for the next season. It's not on the market yet. I saved one for you. If you don't mind, you can wear it at home. Wow, it's beautiful. Zhuangke took out the dress and looked at it. Her eyes were full of surprise. Why would I mind? It's so beautiful. But I don't have anything for you. What should I do? I wanted to give you a dress last time, but I didn't get it. Jiang Mai looked at this scene and didn't know what to say. Even a man was not as good at coaxing girls as she was. She just came to visit him, but she prepared a gift for him. Why didn't he have one? All right. Luckily he didn't. Luckily, Ning Xiaoxi had always been so cruel to him. Otherwise Ning Xiaoxi, I'm leaving. Don't make trouble, don't smoke, don't drink, don't fight, and most importantly, don't hook up with girls. Be quiet, okay? Jiang Mai said earnestly. He had really done his best. It was not that he didn't want to tell her, but he had been feeling uneasy since the beginning. He didn't need to think about it to know what would happen if he let it slip. Golden hair, what's wrong with you? Ningxi was speechless. She always felt that Jiang Mai was strange. It's nothing, it's nothing. Anyway, remember what I said. I'm really leaving. Bye bye bye. The gaze behind him was getting more and more terrifying. After saying goodbye to Ningxi, Jiang Mai almost crawled out of the crew. He finally got out of someone's sight and walked to the parking lot. However, just when he was relieved, he saw a man standing in front of his car. Kumingyu. Uncle. Uncle. Jiang Mai's face turned pale. He was so scared that he almost wet his pants. He hurriedly called out. He subconsciously looked around. Looking at the dim and empty underground parking lot, he inexplicably had a déjà vu that he was about to be killed at this moment. The man was quietly leaning against the hood, his slender fingers holding a cigarette, the butt of the cigarette emitting a dark red glow. His expression was hidden in the shadows, and it was hard to see him clearly. He did not say a word, but it made people even more anxious. Cough cough. Uncle. I didn't expect it to be you. I swear, I will definitely keep it a secret. I will definitely not tell Ningxi. You saw it just now. I didn't say anything. Of course, I won't say anything when I go back. Jiang Mai swore for a long time, but the man still didn't respond. Kumingyu. S aura was so terrifying that Jiang Mai's forehead was covered with cold sweat. He couldn't stand it anymore. Gritting his teeth, he continued. I'll cover for you if necessary. You're right. As soon as he finished speaking, the pressure that was gripping his neck suddenly disappeared. The man looked down and extinguished the cigarette between his fingers. His deep and husky voice instantly returned to the voice that Jiang Mai was familiar with. Good boy. With that, he turned around and left. That word made Jiang Mai's hair stand on end. Damn it, if he had said one wrong word just now, would he really have been killed to keep his mouth shut? Even if he was not his nephew, he didn't have to be so cruel, right? Did he have to scare him like that? Fortunately, even if his heart was full of questions, he still refrained from asking blindly. Chapter 934. After work, Ningxi planned to go to the studio first, but after thinking for a while, she decided to go to the Platinum Palace first. The filming schedule would get tighter and tighter, and she would have less time to accompany the devil and Xiaobao. When she passed by the flower shop, she bought a big bouquet of red roses. In the living room, Lu Tingxiao was wearing a set of home clothes and reading the newspaper. His perfect, chiseled silhouette, slender legs, and thin waist made him look like a delightful oil painting. Ningxi stood there and watched him for a long time. When Lu Tingxiao sensed the gaze on him, he raised his head and saw the girl holding a large bouquet of red roses in her arms, staring at him in a daze. Ningxi suddenly came to her senses when she met the man's eyes. She skipped over happily and stuffed the flowers into his arms. Boss, this is for you. Lu Tingxiao was startled and his cold face softened. Thank you. The man took the bouquet and sniffed the dewy petals. His cold face didn't lose any brilliance in the roses, but became even more dazzling. He was as beautiful as a picture in a high-definition movie. Ningxi held her face in her hands and was fascinated by it. She murmured, Hey, really? Are you a demon? I feel like I'm head over heels in love with you. What? The man raised his eyebrows. Ningxi's heart skipped a beat when she saw his slightly raised eyebrows. She murmured, How dare you ask? I can't even concentrate when I'm filming. Today, I felt that an actor in our crew looked like you. I was possessed and poisoned. In the past, when she was filming, she would never be distracted by anything. The man gently stroked the rose petals and smiled. His low, husky voice rang in her ears. Do you want to try fighting poison with poison? Damn it. He was seducing her again. Ningxi howled and threw herself at him. The petals in their arms fell to the ground. Lu Tingxiao let out a muffled chuckle from his chest. He hugged her tightly inside. I'm just afraid that you'll develop antibodies to this poison one day. Ningxi somehow sensed the man's uneasiness and immediately retorted. No way. This is a poison without an antidote, okay. And it was exclusive. Once you're poisoned, you won't be poisoned by other poisons. You. Lu Tingxiao stroked her head and said seriously, I've read your script. There are quite a lot of dangerous scenes. You have to be careful and don't overexert yourself, okay? And got it. Ningxi nodded. Although there weren't as many dangerous and exciting scenes in this movie as the one that Liang Biqin had stolen, there were still quite a few. There were a lot of fighting scenes in it, and there was even a scene where the character fell off a cliff. But as long as the safety measures were in place, there wouldn't be any problems. At night, in the study room, Lu Tingxiao received a call from Cheng Feng. Hey. Chapter 935. Boss, do you need me to arrange for Xiongji to join the crew? Or Shi Xiao? Cheng Feng asked carefully. No need. Cheng Feng probed for a long time, trembling with fear. In the end, the big boss only said these two words and hung up the phone. Was it because there weren't many dangerous scenes in this movie? That's not right. With the boss's personality, even if there was only one dangerous scene, he wouldn't let his guard down. Assistant Cheng, how is it? What did the boss say? Is it me or Xiongji? Seeing that Cheng Feng had finished the call, Xiongji and Shi Xiao, who had been waiting for a long time, hurriedly went over to ask. Cheng Feng glanced at the two of them. There's no need to go. The boss doesn't have any intention of letting you go. Hearing this, Xiongji and Shi Xiao looked at each other and their expressions changed. Assistant Cheng, are you sure? Why? Cheng Feng was speechless. You two. Shi Xiao, when you were appointed by the boss, you rejected it. Xiongji, not only did you leave your post, you even led Miss Ningxi into danger. Do you think that with the boss's personality he would use you two a second time? You two should just give up, don't think about it anymore. The boss has probably already sent someone else to protect her. How could that be? I specifically asked around. No brothers were sent over at all. Shi Xiao said excitedly. Could it be someone from the Black Ops? Have we been completely abandoned by the boss? Xiongji was a big guy with a face full of disappointment. Cheng Feng shook his head. I've already shown you the way, but you didn't take it. Who can you blame now? However, don't worry, it's not that serious. The boss just didn't give you too important a mission. This is not serious. Shi Xiao roared with red eyes. At this moment, he really regretted it so much that his intestines turned green. He was once the boss's most valued subordinate. Even the task of protecting the lady boss was given to him. But it was ruined by his own arrogance. Pearl River Imperial View. After returning home, Ningxi was about to sleep when her phone suddenly rang. She casually picked up her phone and glanced at it. The next second, her expression suddenly changed. The sender was Tang Yi. After Dib came back, there was no more news from him, so she almost forgot about those things. What did the eldest senior brother mean by sending her a message at this time? Ningxi's intuition told her that something bad was about to happen. The last time he sent her a message, it was about an S-rank mission to propose, and it almost scared her to death. However, this kind of thing could not be solved by running away. Ningxi struggled for a long time with a solemn expression. Finally, she opened the message. There were only a few words on the phone. Bar number 8, see you in half an hour. There was only one location, and it was ridiculously simple. It was still Tang Ye's usual style, leaving no room for rejection. Eldest senior brother wanted to meet her at a bar in the middle of the night? Ningxi stood up and paced back and forth in the room. After a while, she sent a message back. What's up? Arrive quickly, Tang Yi only replied with 2 words. Fuck. Couldn't he tell her what it was so that she could be mentally prepared and not be scared half to death like last time? Ningxi angrily sent another message. Tell me what it is first. In the end, the phone's interface displayed. Your message was not successfully sent. Fuck. She had almost forgotten that Tang Yi had only given her one restriction, which meant that she could only send him one message a day. Fuck, this is so infuriating. Ningxi scratched her head in frustration, quickly packed up and prepared to leave. Before leaving, she went back and took the gun that Lu Tingxiao had given her. Last time, Second senior brother used such a despicable method to defeat him. If he called second senior brother over now, then second senior brother's fate would be, ahem, eldest senior brother. Have you misunderstood something? How could I contact second senior brother? To tell you the truth, after our last meeting, I haven't been in contact with him. Ningxi replied with a sincere expression. Tang Yi nonchalantly adjusted his cuffs. If he doesn't come, you'll fight with me. Hey. Second senior brother. Second senior brother. Come and have a drink at bar 8. Yes, the 8th bar. Come quickly. Waiting for you. There are so many beautiful girls here. Hurry. It's okay if you don't have money, I'll treat you. Chapter 937. Ningxi hung up the phone as fast as she could, and then looked at Tang Yi sincerely. Eldest senior brother. Is this okay? Tang Yi picked up the red wine on the table and took a sip. Scarlet blood stained his thin lips, and his eyes behind the white lenses were filled with a bloodthirsty aura like that of a beast. Ugh. Second senior brother. I'm sorry. Eldest senior brother was really too fucking scary. She didn't know why eldest senior brother returned to the country this time, but catching second senior brother was definitely more important than the S-level mission. After all, second senior brother's trick last time was really too despicable. At this moment, Ningxi didn't dare to talk to Tang Yi at all because she didn't need to look to know that Tang Yi was in an extremely dangerous state. Ningxi raised her head and gulped down a large glass of beer on the table. From the corner of her eye, she saw that Tang Yi didn't seem to notice her. Her remaining conscience made her secretly take out her phone, wondering if she should send Tang Lang a danger signal. In the end, the moment she moved her finger, Tang Yi seemed to have eyes all around her, shooting daggers at her. Ningxi's heart trembled, and she hurriedly smiled flatteringly. I'll text second senior brother, and tell him which booth we're at, in case he can't find us. Tang Yi stretched out his hand and gestured for her to pass the phone to him. Ningxi immediately handed the phone over, as if she was offering a gift. Then she saw that Tang Yi was holding her phone, and sending a message to Tang Lang. What was eldest senior brother sending? Ningxi curiously leaned over and took a glance. Then she saw Tang Ye's pale, almost bloodless fingers as he unhurriedly typed a line of words. Table 13 Block C, second senior brother, hurry up, I'm waiting for you to have some fun. After sending the message, he threw the phone back to Ningxi expressionlessly. Ningxi, seeing eldest senior brother imitating her tone and sending the message, she had goosebumps all over. How much did he want to torture second senior brother? As time went by, Ningxi felt as if she was sitting on pins and needles, and every day felt like a year. That. Since eldest senior brother wants to deal with the private affairs between you and second senior brother, can I go now? I promise I won't tell anyone. You know that I don't have the guts. No. Tang Yi said without any hesitation. Why? What's the use of me staying here? Ningxi said with a sad face. Kill the chicken to warn the monkey. Tang Yi used his cold face that was like a humanoid weapon, and said these words lightly. Ningxi was stunned and almost burst into tears. There was no need to ask. Second senior brother was the chicken, and she was the monkey. Just as Ningxi was in despair, her phone lit up. It was Tang Lang calling. Hey junior sister, where's table 13 in Block C? Tang Lang's cheerful voice came from the other end of the phone. You've arrived? How can it be so fast? Ningxi asked in surprise and looked towards the door. Didn't you say that there are a lot of beautiful girls? Of course it will be soon, Tang Lang replied happily. At this time, Ningxi had already seen Tang Lang, who was walking in from the door. This guy had obviously specially dressed up. He was dressed in a black, form-fitting leather jacket with the lapels unbuttoned, revealing a large area of honey-colored skin. The skull-tail ring on his finger was glowing with a dark silver light. His naturally curled hair was pulled to the back of his head, revealing his smooth and full forehead. The corners of his mouth were slightly curved, and his entire body exuded the word Lang. Chapter 938. Ningxi held the phone in one hand, and made a Jesus prayer gesture with the other. We're 45 degrees clockwise from you. Oh, I see you. But why don't I see any girls? Where are the girls? Little junior sister, are your eyes cramping? Why do they keep cramping? Tang Lang was so focused on having fun that he didn't notice Ningxi's gaze. He asked as he walked towards Ningxi. The corner where Ningxi was sitting was very dark. From his angle, he could only see Ningxi sitting alone on the sofa. There was no girl on her left and no one on her right. Fuck. Little junior sister, what's that on your right? When he saw the elegant man wearing gold-rimmed glasses sitting quietly on the sofa with a glass of red wine in his hand, Tang Lang was so shocked that he almost threw the phone in his hand. Ningxi said in a tone that was worse than death. As you can see, the one on my right is eldest senior brother. Tangxi, I'll fuck you. Where's the girl we agreed on? How dare you sell me out? You're fucking dead. Tang Lang cursed as he turned to run. But how could he run away? Just as he turned around, he felt something tighten around his waist. A soft silver whip wrapped around his waist like a snake. With a bit of force, his body directly rolled behind him, and with a bang, he collided with a cold and gloomy body. Tang Lang struggled against the whip around his waist, but it didn't budge at all. He turned his head, swallowed his saliva, and laughed dryly. Hi baby, long time no see. I didn't expect you to be so enthusiastic the moment we meet. I'm so embarrassed. Ningxi covered her face with her hands. He's about to die and he still dares to play around. Tang Ye's fingers that were holding the man's wrists suddenly tightened. His voice was faint and cold. There's someone even more enthusiastic. Do you want to try? Tang Lang felt a pain in his wrist as if his bones were about to break. Ghost Wailing Wave said, Baby, be gentle, be gentle. If you break me, who's going to fight with you in the future? Who's going to fight with you? You're the wind and I'm the sand, entangled until the end of the world. Shut up. Tang Yi strangled him and left the bar. The two of them, one in front and the other behind, looked like two brothers who had a good relationship with each other. Ningxi wanted to slip away, but the two people in front of her spoke at the same time. Tang Yi, did you forget what I said? Tang Lang. Bastard, you dare to leave me alone? I won't let you off even if I become a ghost. Ningxi. Ningxi wiped her tears and followed him obediently. She muttered with a bitter face. What can I do even if I don't go? It's just the difference between watching you die and watching you die. You knew that I would die, yet you still sold me out. Tang Lang roared. Ningxi was also angry. You know how scary eldest senior brother is. If you were me, would you dare say you wouldn't sell me out? Tang Lang immediately shouted. Of course I'm selling. Do you think I'm stupid? Ningxi. A moment later, Tang Yi brought the man to a secluded alley. There was no path ahead, only high walls on both sides. Tang Yi stood at the only exit with the pale moonlight behind him. It was indeed a good place to kill someone in the middle of the night. After being released, Tang Lang hurriedly rubbed his wrist. Damn it, Tang Yi, didn't I only win against you once? What do you want? Ningxi's mouth twitched. He actually dared to mention the word win. He was simply courting death, sure enough. Tang Ye's expression instantly twisted. His slender fingers slowly covered the frame of his glasses. Choose a way to die. Tang Lang swallowed his saliva. I can choose desire. Immortal. Desire. Death. Chapter 939. I think you won't give up until you see the coffin. Tang Yi slowly took off the gold-rimmed glasses on his face. Tang Lang was shocked when he saw this. Hey, don't. Don't take off the glasses just because of a disagreement, okay? Let's talk about it. But it was obviously too late. Without the isolation of the glasses, Tang Ye's murderous eyes were immediately revealed. It was as if there was a beast sealed in his body that only knew how to fight and slaughter, and it instantly broke through the cage. Tang Ye's fingers went into his hair and rubbed it. At the same time he raised his left hand and with a swish sound, the gold-rimmed glasses fell in a parabola in Ningxi's direction. Seeing this, Ningxi hurriedly went up and carefully caught the glasses. She clenched her fist and cheered. Eldest senior brother, you can do it, Tang Lang. Bastard, if I am still alive later, I will beat you to death first. Ningxi waved her little hand. Live first, second senior brother. As soon as her voice fell, Tang Lang had already attacked like a hungry beast. Every move he made was ferocious and powerful, and he had completely entered the state of a crazy demon. Ningxi held the glasses and the bunch of black flowers, squatting at the entrance of the alley far away. Second senior brother, you are finished. Eldest senior brother's strength has advanced again. Shut up. Do you think I am easy to mess with? Today, I will prove that I am the head of the family. Oh, how dare you be distracted when fighting with me? Tang Yi and Tang Lang fought until the heavens and the earth darkened. Ningxi could see that both of them had already brought out strength that seemed to have broken through the limits of their bodies. In the end, not to mention talking to Ningxi, the two of them had even completely forgotten everything in the outside world. After 200 moves, Tang Ye's 5 fingers grabbed Tang Lang's lifeline like an eagle's claw. Why? Tang Lang's expression flickered slightly, and then he smiled carelessly. He twisted his body and dodged Tang Ye's killer move. Then he took the initiative to attack fiercely. It is also very dangerous to be distracted by me. Ningxi silently looked at the two of them, looking at the painful look in eldest senior brother's eyes. Why, she knew that eldest senior brother was asking why second senior brother betrayed him. She had joined halfway and left, but why did second senior brother join? Second senior brother had always regarded the organization as his home, eldest senior brother as his elder brother, and master as his father. What made him betray all this without hesitation? Tang Lang, I'll ask you one more time. Why? Tang Ye's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets, and his expression was that of madness. During this period of time, it was unknown what kind of devilish training Tang Yi had given himself. His strength had actually risen to such a level, and Tang Lang was already gradually unable to hold on. Most importantly, she clearly felt that Tang Lang didn't seem to want to fight with her eldest senior brother anymore. However, once the eldest senior brother started to fight, he would definitely not stop because he himself was unable to control himself. If Tang Lang were to continue like this, he would really die or be crippled. Seeing that Tang Ye's grip on Tang Lang's neck was getting tighter and tighter, Ningxi gritted her teeth, put down the things in her hands, and instantly inserted herself between the two of them, striking Tang Ye's arm with all her strength. The two of them separated. Tang Lang covered his neck and coughed violently. Tang Yi glared at Ningxi with bloodshot eyes. Get out of the way. Ningxi said anxiously, eldest senior brother, calm down. If there is anything, can't we sit down and talk about it properly? Tang Yi bent down and picked up the glasses on the ground. He raised his gloomy eyes and said, Tang Lang, including you, Tang Shi, I will give you one last chance. Return to the organization. Chapter 940. Although she couldn't bear to part with senior brother, third senior sister, and her brothers, however, she was just a passerby to them. She would eventually have to return to her own path. I'm sorry, senior brother. I guess you know my current situation. I can't go back to my old life of fighting and killing. Most importantly, there are too few cute girls in the organization. I've wanted to complain many times, okay? Would it kill me to recruit more girls for the sake of employee benefits? Ningxi was furious when she said the last sentence. Tang Lang. Tang Yi. The men hadn't even complained and she was already filled with righteous indignation. What was she trying to do? Don't tell them that this was the reason why she left? Thinking back, she had indeed quarreled with Satan many times over this matter, and was mercilessly rejected every time. In the end, the only girl, Annie, was rescued by Ningxi without permission and brought back to the organization. After she was brought back, Satan almost threw her into the sea. The two of them quarreled endlessly. Tang Yi pinched his brows and looked at Tang Lang. What about you? Tang Lang still had a cynical look on his face, but this time, his gaze was unprecedentedly resolute. Absolutely impossible. Tang Yi put on his glasses. I understand. He then looked up at Tang Lang again. The next person who comes won't be me. What he meant was that other than him, there would be someone else looking for Tang Lang. Actually, Ningxi had never officially acknowledged a master. After all, she was mainly proficient in firearms, and she was just dabbling in ancient martial arts. However, it was different for Tang Lang. He had been in the sect since he was young, and if he betrayed his master, he would really be kicked out of the sect. Tang Lang raised his eyebrows. Other than you, who am I afraid of? Tang Yi closed his eyes and said with a sharp gaze, what if Master personally comes? Saving your life is more important. Stop fooling around. With Tang Lang's talent, as long as he was willing, it was only a matter of time before he surpassed Tang Yi and Master. In the end, he didn't ask Tang Lang why he betrayed him. He was afraid that even he wouldn't be able to accept the reason. Tang Lang placed his fingers on his forehead and made a gesture of obedience. Of course, I still have to keep my life for you. Other than me, no one can satisfy you. Ningxi. Ningxi was still worried. In the end, she was caught off guard and was stuffed with a stomach full of dog food. She was in so much pain that she wanted to die and leaned against the wall. That's enough, you two. Tang Lang immediately put his hands on his waist and laughed out loud. This is retribution, retribution. When I look at you and Lu Tingxiao, my eyes are almost blinded, okay? You're just jealous. Jealous that I'm no longer single. You've been single for 10,000 years. Fuck. Who's single? I still have little Ye. Tang Ye's eyes dimmed as he looked at the two arguing men. I'm leaving. Ningxi, so fast. I don't know when we'll meet again. We'll meet again soon. Tang Yi looked at her meaningfully, then turned around and left. Looking at eldest senior brother's back as he left, Ningxi felt a little sad. Then she scratched her head and said, we'll meet again soon. What does eldest senior brother mean? Tang Lang glanced at her. Tang Ye's return this time isn't a coincidence. I'm afraid they've already started to move to the country. Ningxi's expression changed slightly. What? You mean including Satan? He's also back in the country? It can't be? Tang Lang spread his hands. The facts are right in front of us. Ningxi. Is it too late for me to start practicing now? Chapter 941. Is it too late for me to start practicing now? Ningxi stared at Tang Lang with her starry eyes. Tang Lang patted her little head. Junior sister, do you think you're me? With your talent? Even if you started practicing since you were in your mother's womb, it would still be too late. Ningxi's face instantly darkened. So what if you're talented? You're so talented, but you still can't beat eldest senior brother. You're still defeated by eldest senior brother every time. That's because I can't bear to win and let him win. Tang Lang said righteously. You're clearly in the terminal stage of laziness. What a waste of your talent, you scum. Ningxi had a look of disdain. Then she snorted and said, what's the big deal? I have someone to rely on anyway. Oh no. She was too agitated tonight. She was flustered. She had to find Xiao Bao to heal her. Ningxi casually shoved the black bouquet in her arms to Tang Lang, then rode her motorcycle, roaring as it sped away. What's this? Tang Lang glanced at the black roses that Ningxi stuffed into his hand, and then took out a pink note from the bouquet. Tang Lang glanced at the words on the note, and then murmured. Without you, I would be a soul without a purpose. Without you, my emotions would have no foundation. Without you, I would be an expressionless face. Without you, I would be a heart that has stopped beating. Without you, I would be a flame without heat. I am a stream that rushes towards you. Blue sea, are you willing to accept me? Graceful sea, the stream is waiting for your answer. Tang Lang held his chest as he read up to this point. He looked as if he was about to vomit blood from being poisoned. Holy shit. What the hell? He didn't even need to think to know who had sent this bouquet of flowers and who had written this poignant poem. No wonder junior sister was seduced by Lu Tingxiao in just a few days. She deserved it. Platinum Gold Palace. It was already late at night. Lu Tingxiao, who was in a light sleep, got up and went downstairs when he heard the combination lock and light footsteps. Then he unexpectedly saw Ningxi in the living room. Ningxi? It's so late. Why are you? Before he finished speaking, Ningxi ran over and kissed him on her tiptoes. Lu Tingxiao had already fallen asleep just now. At this moment, he was wearing pajamas. In the middle of the night, he was suddenly kissed by his wife. Obviously, he didn't come back to his senses. However, instinct was enough. The man's arm subconsciously circled the girl's waist. his fingers caressing the girl's back, deepening the kiss. The night air gradually warmed up. The familiar scent made Ningxi calm down instantly. She looked up at the man and said, "Sir boss, please stay the night. Can I sleep with Xiaobao baby tonight? I've already paid you." Lu Tingxiao looked down at the girl and said in a low voice, "One kiss is enough." "That's true. Xiaobao is so cute. At least two." Ningxi decisively kissed him again. Lu Tingxiao smiled as he accepted the girl's payment. "Why did you suddenly come here? I suddenly miss you and little treasure. Now." He wanted to hug Xiaobao right now. "I'm going up to take a shower and change my clothes," Ningxi said impatiently. "Go ahead." Ningxi quickly ran past, bringing up a gust of wind behind her. A black flower petal floated down from the girl's body. Lu Tingxiao caught the black rose petal with his fingers and his eyes darkened. Chapter 942. After Ningxi took a shower and changed into her pajamas, she quietly went to sleep next to Xiaobao. She didn't know when it started. Lu Tingxiao and Xiaobao seemed to have become her source of security, proof that she was still living in the human world. As long as she saw them, she would have courage, motivation, passion, and peace of mind. Lu Tingxiao sat down on the bed and tucked the mother and son in. Then he looked down at the girl. "What happened?" Ningxi sat up slightly and leaned into Lu Tingxiao's arms. She thought for a moment and decided not to hide it from him. She explained, "Actually, I went to see someone tonight. I don't know if you still remember, but my senior apprentice brother. The man with glasses who took me away in Philadelphia last time." "I remember." Lu Tingxiao nodded slightly, and a dark light flashed in his eyes. "Well, it's him. He suddenly asked me to meet at the bar tonight. But don't worry, he didn't make things difficult for me. Last time, second senior apprentice brother beat him with a trick, so he fought with second senior apprentice brother, and told him something about second senior apprentice brother leaving the sect. Anyway, senior apprentice brother doesn't mean us any harm, and he even secretly helped and reminded us," Ningxi explained. And then I heard from second senior apprentice brother that they seem to be moving back to the country, including that person," Ningxi said hesitantly, and her expression changed slightly. Hearing the last three words, Lu Tingxiao subconsciously tightened his arms, and even the surrounding air pressure instantly dropped. After a long while, he said with a slightly dry voice, "So what do you think?" Ningxi felt a little chilly. She stole a glance at Lu Tingxiao's seemingly gloomy face, not understanding why he suddenly seemed to be in a bad mood. What do I think? About that person, or about this matter? Anyway, I feel it's quite annoying. I don't want to have anything to do with them anymore. I just want to live my life peacefully, act in my shows, earn my money, and be with the person I love and cherish. Everything is fine." Hearing Ningxi's words, Lu Tingxiao's stiff expression gradually softened. After all, he was the person she used to like. After all, she had rejected him so many times for that person. What he was most worried about was that the return of that person would shake her heart. "Don't worry. With me around, no one can force you to do anything you don't want to do. Yes, that's why I'm here to hug your leg." Early in the morning, the sun shone through the window, warming the room. On the small bed opposite the window, Xiaobao woke up in a daze. He arched his little body and strangely felt that his side was warm, soft, and fragrant. "Oh?" The little fellow yawned delicately, then opened her eyes and turned her head subconsciously. As a result, she saw Aunt Xiaoxi lying beside her. "Mama!" Little Bun immediately widened his round eyes, as if he was a child who saw a room full of candy and toys. He didn't like candy or toys, but he liked Aunt Xiaoxi. Little Bun immediately got up from the bed and stared unblinkingly at Mama, who was sleeping soundly beside him. Then he carefully stretched out a soft finger and poked Mama's face again and again. Soft. Very warm. Happy. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.